What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cheap and Easy. I'm Josh. So, that dirty little girl right there left me stranded. So, as you know, the new fuel pump is no good. I put an old fuel pump on it. Seemed to be working. Well, start going up the hill. It just died. Wouldn't start back up. Wouldn't do nothing. Call them for help. Some of the guys helped me out. Thank God. How embarrassing. That sorry sucker. So, I'm going to show you something. Give it the old smack. This is a brand new fuel filter. We got a problem. I don't know if I can. Let me block the sun. Try to here. All right. Well, one thing, the fuel pump's empty, right? But look at all the junk in the fuel pump. It tells me I got a hole in the gas line or something, maybe. But I also seen, and it may not have been, but I swore I seen ants crawling around in there. Maybe I'm just seeing things. So, with all that crap in that fuel filter, I'm going to go ahead and probably drop the gas tank down, because there should be another rubber line like this attached up to the sending unit area. I'm going to check and make sure it's not dry rotted, because I've never taken that down ever since I've owned the Suburban, so I'm sure it's probably due. Oh, it's so aggravating. But yeah, look at all that junk in there. I can't believe that. And that's the only thing I can think of, because I don't see how anything... Of course, I haven't looked back here, but pretty sure it's got a good seal. Yeah, it's got a good seal on it. So, somewhere I'm getting junk. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of guessing or thinking just take the fuel pump or the fuel tank down. Oh, of course, that's a big dude. Luckily, I don't ever fill this up because I can't afford it. This is probably a 40-gallon tank, at least, maybe bigger. So I'm thinking I'll probably drop the tank down and check out the lines. My airbag should be in next week. I like to put my airbags back here on here and play around with that. I'm still debating of what kind of tires I want. Do I want to get the same kind of style with kind of like the racing style white lettering, or do I go old school and do the white walls all the way around? Let me know what you guys think, the one person that watches, maybe two. I guess I don't know if I want to start jacking this thing up and putting the fuel pump on. I may put a hold on this. I really need to get this mash cylinder done too on the old Charger. I took the I'm kind of all over the place, guys, sorry. So I took the mash cylinder off. Like I said, just all I had to do is take these two lines off and then the two nuts off of here. I've got it in the vise now, so I'm on a bench bleed. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but it's called bench bleeding it. So you put it on the bench, which is on here's the bench. Stick it in a vise, and then you're going to take a screwdriver or Phillips, something heavy duty, and you're going to push in your plunger. I'll take that off. So I think that's all I'm going to do today because it's hotter than shit outside. And, you know, beauty melts. Good thing I'm not beauty. But it's hotter than crap out here. And I really don't want to dick with this right now. Kind of makes me mad that did that. So I got the side windows tinted. Can't hardly tell, but side windows are tinted now. I was bringing it back so they can put the brow on there, and that's when she let me down. But I can't get too mad at her. She hasn't let me down over not very many times that I can think of. Carrier bearing went out when I first bought it years ago, but that was because me being a kid, fuel injection 350, I could pump the gas, floor it 3 times, and it would bring the front wheels off the ground. Well, I thought that was always fun to do when I'm cruising. I go whomp whomp and then ride a wheelie and then drop it down. Well, I did that one time and blew the carrier bearing out. Being a kid, but it was fun. Not very many. I guarantee you there's not very many Suburbans can pop a wheelie. All right. Let's go play on the master cylinder. All right, kiddos. So, normally you want to clean your bench off, but I'm a slob, so you know, I'm not going to clean it. I'm just going to kick my tools out of the way and keep working. You know, one of these years, you know, I don't say days, I say one of these years, one of these months, I'll do a deep cleaning. All right, so we're going to add brake fluid. No, we're not. So when you get a new mash cylinder, it should come with some rubber hoses and your little fittings. I have never seen little fittings like this. How's that supposed to work? Huh. I have never seen any like this. This is pretty neat. So basically, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me get up a little closer. I don't know if they can focus, but this just goes right into your mash cylinder. Right where your lines would go. Both of them. The other end, you just hook the hose to. Just like so. The ones I've always had just screw in. This is kind of different. Then it comes with a little bracket here. Hold down. Ah! I'm guessing it goes like this. I probably ought to read the directions, but no, it's going to be this way. But like I said, the directions are, well, they're overrated for one, and the other thing, directions are from China, and they basically tell you how to bake a cake, but not how to do the brakes. Okay, we're going to stick it down in the hole like that. I've never seen a setup like this. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Nope, of course I turned it the wrong way. I had it the right way the first time, you jackwagon. I think I did. So you want your hose down in your mash cylinder. This is supposed to clip on the side. Maybe I did have it the right way. Which way are you supposed to have this thing? There we go. Like that. Stick your hose back down in there. So you want your hose down in there. That way it's in the fluid. Get you some brake fluid, .3 normally. Fill her up, Buttercup. Probably ought to wear safety glasses so you don't blow this crap in your face. I'm not going to push it very hard. I'm just going to use a nut driver and then slowly push it in. Try not to make a big old mess. You should see it bubbling. And basically you're just wanting to keep doing this. Till you ain't got no more bubbles. Okay, yeah, so you're just going to keep pumping. Keep your lines in the fluid and just keep pumping it. I'm doing little short strokes for now. Hey, get your mind out of together. Geesh. So, and then you want to long stroke it. I mean, man, you guys are sick-minded. Oh, I about got all the air bubbles out. So I'm just going to keep working it. I don't see any brake fluid leaking down below, so I think we're looking good. Pretty much not getting any air. Get a little bit here and there. As long as you get the majority out, you can get the rest out when you actually bleed the brakes. This front one's the one that's getting the most bubbles for some reason. I don't know why. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to call that good, guys. I kind of want to leave. Probably need to try to leave this. Or if I can put this on there and kind of hold it in place. So we can get it to the car. Won't make a big old mess, I just know it. Let you guys meet me over here. That way you can watch me make a big old mess. Are you guys coming? Come on. Brake fluid everywhere, hope not. Shit, I really need to move this power steering line. This power steering line is like right in my damn way. I need to see if I can shorten this power steering line. Because there is no reason for this thing to be this long. Okay. Please don't spill it everywhere. I mean, one thing good about brake fluid, if you do spill it, it's easy to clean up. You just throw some water on it. Okay. Now, I need to try to get this portioning valve bracket on there. Alright. Well, I'm going to make a mess either way. So let's just start yanking them out. Let's just yank them out. The mess is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm getting my 2 brake lines put back on as quick as possible so I don't lose very much fluid, brake fluid. Make a big old mess. Okay, I'm hooking up the back line right now. And I'm just going to snug it. Looks like a half for the front. This is for the front brakes. Tighten that dude up. Okay. Now I can go ahead and snug it up. Okay. Gotta make the old man noises, sorry. Well, that's what happens when you're old. You gotta go, ugh. Just part of it, guys, sorry. You'll realize it when you get old. Alright, I need my 2 nuts. Guys, come on. These nuts. Jeez. Come on. Killing me. Come on, spin on there, dude. I'm gonna have to have a helper, somebody to sit in a charger to pump the brakes for me. And guess what? Nobody's around. I'll probably take my until I can get somebody to help pump the brakes. I'll probably use my old vacuum, put it on there and try to vacuum as much as I can, and then I'll let it gravity bleed as much as I can, and then when I get help, that's how I like doing it. I like somebody to push the brake pedal down. So what I'll do is I'll have them push the brake pedal all the way down and hold it, and then I'll break the bleeder loose. And then when it goes all the way to the floor, I'll tell them, let me know when it hits floor. And then they'll say down. Okay, and then I'll shut the bleeder off, tighten the bleeder back on, and then I'll say let off, and then they'll let off the brake. And then I'll do it again. I'll tell them down, they'll push the brake pedal down, I'll crack the bleeder open. When it goes all the way down to the ground or the floor, they'll say down. And then when they say down, I tighten the bleeder back up, and then I'll say off, they let off the brake again. That's how I like bleeding it. That's the way I was taught, and I've never had I mean, it's the best way to get rid of all your air bubbles. It's what I'm trying to get at. You guys can do it how you want, but I would suggest do it that way. It's the best way. A lot of people have the vacuum pumps and stuff. I don't think they're as accurate. I don't think they work as good as doing it the old-fashioned way. But now, what do I know? I don't know nothing. I just know what works for me, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing. Like I said, I'm old school, self-taught, and the stuff that I was taught by old timers, and I respect everything they've taught me, and I mean, pretty much the shit they've taught me is not bullshit. It's legit works. I need brake fluid. Pretty much all the stuff I've learned mechanic wise, I was taught when I was 14 all the way to guess 18, 14 to 18, I worked at 2 different mechanic shops, and the old timers taught me pretty much all the stuff I've done brake wise. You know, we didn't do engine work, but as far as suspension and brakes, I did all the brakes. I did alignments. I've rebuilt front ends. That's what I did for 4 years. Is that 4 years? 2 years, I mean. No, 4 years. Yeah, 14. Yeah. I can't do math, guys. That's why I work on cars. All right. So, I forgot what I was even saying. But basically, everything I've learned is pretty much since I learned in the 4 years when I was 14 to 18. And then as I got older, I wanted to learn more about motors and stuff. So then I started rebuilding motors and just basically doing whatever after that. But I pretty much know suspension very well on older vehicles. I can figure it out on newer. I mean, it really hasn't changed much. I mean, it's just fancier. I need more brake fluid. I like to try to buy stuff in bulk, but I always try to keep this full. It's just easier to pour in. Add our brake fluid in there. Fill her up. Oh, and I also learned how to do exhaust back in the day. It was pretty nice. The place we worked, or place I worked at, we were the only ones at the time that had 3-inch dies for exhaust. So we were putting a lot of exhaust on for hot rods and stuff with 3-inch exhaust, which was kind of unheard of back in the 90s. Back when I was a kid in the 90s, it was kind of funny because all the hot rodders that I kind of hung out with, they swore up and down on their exhaust. They always did 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches. The tiny little ones, I call them the goat ropers. That's what it was. All the cowboy guys, that's what they'd put on their Ford trucks. And man, I thought they sounded horrible. But they claim on those 302s running 1 3/4 inches to 2 inch, actually it flowed better. Like you start putting too big exhaust on, it's just too much. You got to have that back pressure. But I've always done 2 1/4, 2.5. My Yukon Sub-Lange has got 3-inch exhaust. The only reason why I did that because I wanted a nice deep rumble. Performance-wise, it probably actually hurts me a little bit on power, but it's more about the sound. The Charger, I think it's 2 1/4. That's what I did when I was 16. How old was I when yeah, I was 16. Yeah, I had to have been 16 because I was driving. So, yeah, we did dual exhaust on this and 2 1/4. And it's got the old school cherry bombs, like the original cherry bombs on it still. I do want to make an H-pipe for the Charger. We put a pipe in there to keep the exhaust together, so I'm hoping I can just cut that pipe off, drill some new holes, and then cut a new piece of pipe and put it in there and actually make an H-pipe. I think H-pipes sound better because it gives it a nice even tone and a You get more bottom end when you run a H pipe. The X pipe, that's what I got on the sub-flange. That's more for higher RPMs. So you don't get much bottom end on X pipe. So now I'm daydreaming. What am I doing? Oh, we need to start cracking the bleeders loose down here. So we're going to go to each caliber, and we're trying to get the camera focus here. There we go. We're going to break all the bleeders loose. I'll put a bucket underneath and start letting it gravity feed for a little bit. I guess we could hook this vacuum up, just see if we can suck anything out. Get the camera set up again. I don't know if you guys can see or not, if it's too dark or not, or whatnot. There ain't much to see. But I'll go get it started, and then once it starts bleeding, I'll kind of show you. All right. I'm pretty excited. As you can see, it was plumb full, and it's gotten a little lower. So you always want to open up your bleeder wherever the furthest one away. Well, we're doing the front now, so this brake line goes down, up, all the way around to the passenger side. This is my longest run. This is what I started first. Get the light on. It should be, as you can see, it's, I don't know if you can see. So yeah, it's a nice steady stream coming out. No air bubbles. That's what you want. It's just nice steady drip. So we're going to go ahead and shut this one down. And now we're going to go break the driver's side bleeder loose. Might as well take this pan with us. That way it catches all that brake fluid. All right, breaker loose, breaker. Now, shouldn't take very long to start coming out. Mainly because you started down at the other end, so the fluid should be right here. We may have to give it a little help, so I'll get set this up real quick. Let me go get my vacuum. Oh, vacuum, where are you? Here you is. All right. Well, that didn't stay on very good, did it? Guess I'll have to hold it on there. Basically, you put that on there and then push the old trigger. You can see it's already sucking in brake fluid. So now we should be able to let it gravity bleed the rest of the way. I'm going to go add some brake fluid. You let me know if you start seeing it drip. Where's my brake fluid? There it is. Add some more. You want to keep your mash cylinder full at all times, because if you let it get empty, guess what? You got to start all over again and get all that air back out. So make sure it's always full as you're doing this. All right. Oh, we got it. We got some drippage. Guys, I can't even, where the hell's the bleeder? There it is. See if I can get back far enough so it can focus. I want to focus. There we go. So you can see, zoom up a little bit. You can kind of see the air bubbles coming out of it. Come on, focus. Focus. Focus, focus. There we go. See the fluid coming out. You already missed some air bubbles because I couldn't get it focused. That's what you want. So you want to try to get as much air. Look at that big air bubble coming out. That's what you like to see. Ooh, that's a big bubble. So basically this is what you call gravity bleeding. You're just letting it naturally drip out. I like to do this, get the gravity bled pretty much. That way, whenever I get somebody in here to help me push the pedal, it's going to be quick and simple. Like, if you gravity bleed this, the time you got somebody pumping the brake for you, you should only have to have them bring it down 3 times, and then that should be absolutely no air in there. And then I'll go to the passenger side. Actually, I'll start with the passenger side first, bleed it. About 3 times is usually what you'll see, but you'll just watch. And when there's your first time, you may get a little bubble. Second time, you won't hardly get very many bubbles at all. Third time, you shouldn't get any bubbles at all. It should be just straight fluid. And then you're good. Then I'll come to the driver's side, do the same thing. And then same thing for the rear. So now that we got this going, see, it's coming out pretty good. Still dripping a little bit, but it's still getting all the air out. So now we'll go ahead and crack the bleeder loose on the rear. Should have left them wheels off. But I'll climb underneath there and see if I can break the bleeder loose. Hopefully they break loose and don't break off. You know, that's usually how my luck is. Damn thing will break off. So in this case, you don't want to do this one yet. You're going to go to the back passenger rear and break that one loose first. Like I said, you always want to, when you bleed, you want to start from the furthest, the longest line, basically. It just makes bleeding a lot easier. We'll just leave this one dripping, so let's go to the back. Okay, for some reason it didn't record, so now I get to tell my story all over again. This is the exhaust I put on in 1994. You can see it's still the old cherry bombs. Still looks pretty decent for as old as it is. I did dual exhaust on it back in 1994. 2 1/4. That's the pipe that we stuck in to keep the exhaust together as we built it. It's not functional, but that's what I want to take out right there and actually make it an actual H pipe. I think that'll make it sound good, so I'm going to cut that out, get a hole saw, cut on both sides, and put that pipe back in. Right now we're bleeding the back. Get you turned around up here. I got the the wheel cylinder broke loose. We're still going to rebuild the wheel cylinder. We're just trying to get brake pedal for now. Right now I'm got the vacuum on it, trying to suck some brake fluid out. Some brake fluid is coming out, but a lot of it, I believe, is just that was already in the wheel cylinder. I got the fronts bleeding. They're pretty much gravity bled. This is the other thing I was going to do. I guarantee, let's see if you can see that brake line right there, flex line hose. I guarantee you that's probably original, or I'm guarantee you, yeah, it's got to be original. I don't remember changing it. I may have changed it when I was 16 when I did the brakes. It's possible, but we need to get a new brake line, flex line. Yeah, because I didn't even think about that. That definitely needs to be done. All right, we're gonna have to do some more filming later. My battery's about dead. What didn't pay attention. You can see the rear mash cylinder is fluids going down. The front's slowly going down. The fronts are already gravity bled, so we should be good. And we got the rear starting to drip. Now I'm going to come to this side. So remember, whenever you're bleeding, you always want to start from your furthest line. Furthest line is going to be the back passenger rear. That's what we're doing. It's bled, gravity bled. Now we're going to come to the driver's side. Work that bleeder back and forth loose. I'm going to take a wire brush, clean it up real good. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit and then break it loose. It was a 9/32, oddball bleeder. That's kind of crazy. So we're going to break that loose, get that bled, and then we can hop in here, pump up the old brake pedal, and see if we got a pedal. So we got to get somebody in here to help me bleed the brakes. Once we get the once we get the brakes bled, we can go test drive it. I like to cruise it down the road, check it out. We still got to rebuild the rear wheel cylinders, but right now we're just trying to get the fronts working. That way we make sure it works. They're gravity bleeding right now. There's something else I was going to tell you guys. Oh well, if I think about it, I'll let you guys know. All right, thanks for watching. Peace out.